Well, it's been a bit of a saga when it comes to what Disney plans to do with Frontierland and the Rivers of America, as they announced at D23 that this Cars-based attraction would be coming to the parks. And then they shortly afterwards told us that it was going to be taking out the Rivers of America and really transforming Frontierland. But they filed for the permit for this. The state came back and told Disney that they basically had to make a bunch of changes to the permit, as there's some issues with potential wetland impact off of the Rivers of America being drained and everything like that. And so it came down to the wire. Then Disney asked for an extension, which was granted. And now we have a story here from Blog Mickey that talks about Disney has submitted updated plans here, and there are some changes from the original one that they had. So we're going to read through this article and give some thoughts on it. So hi, I'm Jared with Capture the Magic. And again, it says Disney World submits updated plans for Rivers of America demolition at Magic Kingdom. It says Walt Disney World has submitted updated plans for the Rivers of America demolition in response to the South Florida Water Management District's, that's a mouthful, request for additional information. As you may know, the back and forth permit application process has been ongoing since September. The latest response from Disney puts the ball back in the Water Management District's court with a response required within 60 days. So it says Disney submits updated plans for Rivers of America demolition. Walt Disney World has submitted a lengthy response to the lengthy request for additional information. At a high level, Walt Disney World essentially says that a lot of the requests for more information from the state are answered into a grandfathered master plan document with the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District. Where applicable, Walt Disney World has provided new information for the Water Management District, including updated demolition plans that better reflect the work that will be done to demolish the Rivers of America. They are just determined to get rid of those rivers. In the original permit, it was implied but not explicitly stated that Disney World would be filling in the Rivers of America. In the updated screenshots below, we can see that Disney clearly outlines that they will be draining the Rivers of America and filling the entire area with dirt to create a newly leveled and graded construction area. This will support the eventual construction of a Cars-themed expansion of Frontierland. The next phase of the work will be for a Villains-themed land. It's also worth noting that permits call for the preservation and protection of the existing Walt Disney World railroad tracks. This means that this phase of the construction will not impact the tracks in terms of physically removing or modifying them, but it won't mean there won't be a temporary closure of the railroad at some point. I swear that railroad has been shut down so many times the past 10 years for various things that they've done. The permit screenshots below show the planned construction laydown yards and the draining and filling of the Rivers of America and demolition of Tom Sawyer Island. And here's some shots at the permits file that they did there. So this is Rivers of America right here. You got their laydown yard they want to do here. If you want to take a look at that, I'll put a link in the article in the description so you can take a look at those pictures if you want to see a bit more. So that's the latest on that. Now, it didn't mention anything about the wildlife impact studies that the state was asking for, and if they had concerns about draining the river in terms of how it would impact the wetlands. Like, I don't know if the state's going to be satisfied with that. So we've seen recently that the state is not just rubber stamping all the stuff that Disney wants to do here. Now, I'm not sure. Some people have speculated that it's political due to the Disney's fight with Florida. When you're dealing with environmental government agencies, a lot of times they just do this. They're very, some people have talked about, depending on where you live, even if you want to do things like to your driveway, sometimes you have to deal with the environmental agencies to get an okay for it. So who knows if it's some sort of retribution, but it seems like that they are being, at least taking a look at what they're going to do here. So it does seem, regardless, Disney is very determined to get rid of the Rivers of America. And I've talked about it before, but one reason I think they want to do this is there have been issues with the foundation of the Rivers of America. And I think Disney looks at this area as, water doesn't make us money, so why spend a bunch of money to fix it? And it's not going to really impact revenue, whereas they can put an attraction here that they think will bring people in. So I don't think getting rid of the Rivers of America is a good thing. I've said this from the beginning. I think it brings a lot of ambiance. I think it sets a tone for the area. And I think it gets into the difference between a theme park and an amusement park. In that amusement park, you're just trying to jam in as much stuff as you can get people to do. You don't really care about, trying to make you feel like you're somewhere else. You're just trying to put as much stuff for people to do in an area. Whereas a theme park is supposed to tell a story, sort of make you feel like you're escaping somewhere. And Frontierland is supposed to whisk you away to Frontierland, to a time long ago. So not only do I think taking out the rivers, you get rid of the steamboat there, which I understand not everybody rides the steamboat there, but it is something that sets that tone and makes you feel like you're in a bygone era. Tom Sawyer Island obviously is not an area that a lot of people go to, so I wouldn't have as much issue with that, something happening with that. But I do think the rivers of America and Frontierland serve a very good purpose. And again, it was very Walt thing. Walt loved the frontier, and it's something I don't like seeing things that Walt had direct impacts on be removed, but we're slowly seeing a lot of those be removed over the years. But the other thing that I just don't like about where this is going is you're just going to have googly-eyed cartoon cars in Frontierland. Like, I'm just thinking about Big Thunder Mountain, and it's one of my favorite rides. And, you get the rivers when you go around the bend. Like, it has a lot of really neat views, and you're going to be on that ride and overseeing cartoon cars in the distance. I just feel like it's going to mess with the entire feel and vibe of not only Frontierland, but also Liberty Square. And the rumors have been out there that Disney's looking at getting rid of Liberty Square. And I felt like for a while, Disney would like to get rid of Frontierland. I don't necessarily think they'll get rid of it in name. I think they're just going to piece by piece basically just change it where it's Frontierland in name only. And we're seeing, obviously they're putting in the DVC lounge in there. There's been rumors that Pecos Bill's is going to become a Tiana's restaurant. And obviously Splash Mountain was changed over to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So I think, this is what's going to happen. I don't think they're going to change the name of Frontierland. I think it's just going to become Frontierland in name only, but it's basically just going to be a hodgepodge of things in that area. But it definitely seems like Disney is still looking to get rid of the rivers of America. We'll have to wait and see. Like the article said, the state has 60 days to reply. So I guess we'll see and wait what the state says about this and if they ask for any additional changes. It seems like Disney is saying that the changes, many of them they were asking for, were already in a different type of permit or the master permit. So we'll see if the state accepts that answer or if they're going to come back and ask for more changes here. But either way, that will be it for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about this story? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.